You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. Let's talk about the Derek Chauvin trial. Today was, of course, the day where the defense took their turn trying to defend him. And my God, was it unbelievable to listen to them try to have experts to say that George Floyd essentially killed himself. Here's a roundup of today's testimony.
Wrap up. Could you summarize the final opinions that you have made in this case?
I felt that Officer Chauvin's interactions with Mr. Floyd were following his training, following current practices in policing, and were objectively reasonable.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Are you aware of how the Minneapolis Police Department defines force?
Not specifically, no. I would have a general understanding of it.
Generally, would you agree, or based on your review, would you accept that the Minneapolis Police Department generally defines force to include restraint?
It can.
A reasonable police officer would adhere to the policies of their own department. True?
Yes.
Can you undo your seatbelt, sir? Sir, passenger, can you undo your seatbelt? Go ahead and undo your seatbelt.
Please, I don't want to get shot.
I don't plan on shooting you. I'm just saying, just take your time.
I ain't never seen him.
Okay, relax. Just undo your seatbelt. Let her take care of her guy. Just keep your hands out where I can see him. Hey! Let me... Keep your hands where I can fucking see them. Okay? Put them up on the dash. Put them on the dash. I'm not going to shoot you. Put your hands on the dash. Put your hands on the dash. The last time I'm going to tell you that. It's simple. He keeps moving his hands around. He won't listen to what I have to say.
Put your hands on
Okay.
your head.
Put them on your head.
Top of your head. Okay, man. Open your mouth. Spit out what you got. Spit out what you got. I'm going to tase you. Spit it out. He's eating over.
Don't you jerk away from me.
That was one yellow pill. Put your hands behind your That was one yellow pill, boss.
Okay, now slowly come on out.
Hand under
Put your
hand under your head.
Okay, relax then. You're not going to get beat up or nothing. You just follow what we're asking you to do.
I apologize, man. I apologize, man. I apologize.
Yeah.
Your attention was focused on Mr. Floyd, correct?
Yes, it was.
And Mr. Floyd didn't drop dead while you were interacting with him, correct?
No.
Thank you. Nothing further.
Anything further?
Well, you woke him up when the police officers walked up, correct?
Yes.
And so then he was awake.
Yes, you just want me to say yes or no, explain what do you want me to do?
Well, explain.
I want to explain. Okay, thank you. So when I tried to wake him up, he woke up the second time. I said, Floyd, the police is here. It's about the $20 bill wasn't real. I kept saying, baby, get up. The police was out. So he looked, and we looked to the right, and he had the police. He tapped on the window with a flashlight. And I'm like, Floyd. And so he turned back around again. He's like, what? And I was like, baby, that's the police. Open the door, roll down the window, whatever he told me to do. So he looked back, and when he seen the man had the gun at the window when we looked back to him. So he instantly grabbed the wheel, and he was like, please don't kill me. Please don't shoot me. What did I do? Just tell me what I did. Please don't kill me. Please don't shoot me. And I'm like, Floyd, baby, it's not. You said explain. I'm trying to explain what state he was in, sir.
I did.
Here's a book, man. Yeah, are you guys good with diesel? I'm gonna double check. Here's the book. Here's a notebook.
You want to get his phone? Yeah. In the car? Yeah, it's right down the street.
His phone.
Sir.
He's already gone. He doesn't need his phone. Is that his phone? Put his phone back.
Yeah, put his phone back. He's gonna.
He's gone over. He went to the hospital.
Tell him where it is.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Put his phone back. That's it.
You know him, bro?
Yeah.
What's up? You might have called his family or something. I watch the whole thing play out. I ain't even. What happened?
I didn't talk to them yet. You part of it.
Okay, you ran him though?
Nope.
No, that man took our name.
So, supposedly your partner has his
What
ID.
happened to him?
Fucked up. All right.
That's your partner. Your partner needs it in order.
He took your ID? Yeah.
He's sick.
They kept his foot on it. They kept it.
I already know what What?
I tried to get him to get in the car. I tried. I told him he can't win. Go on, get in the car. I kept telling him, bro, you can't win, bro. Get in the car. Because I know you can't win.
I don't need anything from them.
They're good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you guys are good.
Two things I don't fuck with.
Well, he said you two are good, but I'm not too sure about this.
Can I take Sylvia's car?
What?
That's Sylvia's truck. That's our friend Sylvia.
Okay.
Ex-co-worker. Well, let me try. If I get her phone, I can call her and tell her, sir.
Oh, the car's going to stay put right here until we figure it out.
Well, you better lock it because his phone's sitting right there. Can I tell Sylvia?
Just stay put. My partner's going to come back. I don't know what the plan is with the car.
Hey, you mind if I just get his phone? Okay.
I don't want you guys touching the car.
Once you walked over to the far side of the road, over by the Dragon Walk, you could no longer see what was going on with Mr. Floyd.
Yeah, yes.
You indicated that the crowd was getting louder and more aggressive, correct?
Yes.
And but you knew that there were now 4 officers over at that scene, correct?
Correct, yes.
And so your main focus was on watching those passengers.
Yes, in the car.
And you assumed when you were doing that those 4 officers were okay over there because there were 4 of them, correct?
Yes.
And if they had radioed for help, you would have heard it over your radio.
Yes.
And they never radioed for help, did they?
No.
Benjamin, I don't know what in the hell the defense is trying to lay out. First of all, you put an expert on the stand who has to familiarize themselves with the department's use of force. You might want to say, bro, read before you get on the stand.
Yeah, that was pretty incoherent. Like if they were trying to paint a cohesive narrative, I think they failed spectacularly. The one thing that I feel like they were trying to do is to show that this is, I guess they were trying to show that this is kind of the state of mind that George Floyd was in a previous encounter. But at the end of the day, their job is going to be to vilify George Floyd and to put him on trial. And I think they're easing their way into it. And the longer we go into this process, we're going to see them attack George Floyd's character more and more and more. And that's definitely something that I'm not looking forward to having an experience. And I'm sure nobody who saw that video is going to want to see this defense attorney attack George Floyd the way they're gearing up to.
And again, they're going to have to figure out, Kelly, how to penetrate what the prosecution laid out of the previous 2 weeks, especially with their experts that made it perfectly clear it was not drugs that killed George Floyd.
So I was only able to see bits and pieces of the trial today, but one thing that I noticed was they had somebody on the stand testifying how it's possible that he suffered from something called excited delirium, and that was the cause of his death, as opposed to the fact that there was a knee on his neck and he died. And part of that theory is that, quote, suspects may have incoherent, exhibit extraordinary strength, et cetera, et cetera. And for me, it felt incredibly racist to imply that an apprehended, incapacitated Black man is still too strong for a trained police officer to control, especially when he was handcuffed on his stomach and in no position to be anything but under the control of Officer Chauvin. So the fact that they are trying to use any theory, chip at anything that the prosecution threw out, to basically dissuade the jury from thinking that he actually died from a knee on his neck. When the video shows it, the experts told you, the witnesses saw it, And anything that the defense has coming down the pike to combat that is really just theory. It is complete conjecture. So as far as I'm concerned, they don't necessarily have a case. But because Chauvin is entitled to a defense, they got to make do with what they have, which is nothing. So hopefully, considering the fact that they do have nothing, he will be convicted the way he should be, the way that I expect him to be, and we can actually get on with possibly moving forward in a positive direction regarding criminal justice and repercussions for bad policing.
Mustafa.
Yeah, I mean, they continue. What they're trying to do is to get one juror to have that reasonable doubt, and that's their whole game plan. But every one of the jurors have seen the video, and they've seen that George Floyd had his hands behind his back, handcuffed. He's on the ground, and he died from asphyxiation, and the asphyxiation came from Derek Chauvin placing his knee for a considerable amount of time. He didn't have a gun. He didn't have any weapons. He wasn't even resisting arrest. So their case is flimsy, but we also know how the court system works. And they're trying to get that one person. We just hope that every one of those jurors actually uses their minds, uses their hearts, and embraces the humanity that is supposed to be a part of the process.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
It's time to be smart. When we control our institutions, we win. This is the most important news show on television of any racial background. Y'all put $2, $3, $4, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30 on this and keep this going. What you've done, Roland, since this crisis came out in full bloom. Anybody watching this, tell your friends. Go back and look at the last 2 weeks, especially of Roland Martin Unfiltered. I mean, hell, go back and look at the last 2 days. You've had sitting United States senators today, Klobuchar and Harris. Whatever you have that you can bring to Roland Martin Unfiltered to support it, please do, because this information may literally save your life.
Watch Roland Martin Unfiltered daily at 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, or Periscope, or go to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com.